So guys, shout out to V. Lenore first and foremost because she has been following up on the case with the Hurtt twins and their father and their mother, and she has interviewed the father. That was very interesting. You can go on to my community tab and you can find, I've posted her videos, I posted the interview, and go check that out. Check out the content she has been doing on this case. And there have been a lot of things said. There have been text messages and other things shown. There have been a statement or two from the mother, who is not very vocal online anymore. And she has gotten, V. Lenore, hold of the court documents. Now, I did request for her, if she would, to send them to me so that I can see them myself. But until then, we are going to just take her word for it that she is reading the actual court documents as is stated. And she is, so far from what I can hear, confirming a lot of the things that were said and shown about the father. Take a listen.
I'm going to read it. It's kind of long, and I'm having to, make it bigger and stuff so I can see it. So please bear with me. Okay. So it's writing out the plaintiff being Jerron Hurtt, the defendant being April. It says the plaintiff and defendant, hereinafter the parties, are the natural parents of the parties, of the twins, and the parties were never married. Okay. While with defendant, children are raised and cared for in all physical and emotional support needs by defendant. When the defendant resided with the children and plaintiff, defendant was the one who fed, bathed, and helped the children with everything. While with defendant, and remember the defendant is the mother, the children's physical, emotional, and psychological needs are addressed by the defendant. The defendant is a fit and proper person to have primary physical custody of the minor children. Since plaintiff made defendant move out of the home, he rarely allows defendant visitation to the children. This is coming from the court, y'all. Okay? This is not what he's saying or what she's saying. This is what the courts have found, okay? The plaintiff will only allow defendant to have visitation with the children at his residence and refuses defendant the ability to take the children to her residence.
So it looks like we're already getting confirmation that the things that were said online are true. According to V. Lenore reading the court documents, he definitely put April, who is the Hurtt twins' mother, out of the home. Whether it was 11 o'clock at night or 4 o'clock in the morning, he clearly put her out. No negotiating, giving her time to find a place, trying to do it in the best and most healthiest way possible for the children and for everyone involved. No, he put her out of the house. Okay, and not only that, as has been reported, he also was not willing to let her take the children with her. He was saying she could only visit the children at his home.
Plaintiff starts an argument with defendant almost every time she comes to visit the children. Plaintiff has attempted to rob defendant once. Do you hear me?
Rob?
I'm gonna read that one more time. The plaintiff, Jerron Hurtt, has attempted to rob the defendant, April. Once. Rob. Yes, prominent woman. Okay? This is trash. Plaintiff has a long-standing pattern of violent behavior. Plaintiff has a history of substance abuse dependencies with prescription pills.
Now, this part is very important, and it's also another reason why I would like to see the court documents for myself, because a lot of people were saying that this guy was using, and the courts had found him, as far as testing, he didn't come up clean, but no one could ever really say what it was or provide any substantial proof. So if she is reading this correctly and it is on the court documents, I would love to see it. But so far, taking V. Lenore at her word that she is actually reading the court documents, they're saying that this guy has a problem with prescription pills.
And the plaintiff exploits the minor children in an attempt to raise money for himself and gain own internet fame.
Now, it's very important to keep in mind that the courts have ordered him, and from what I understand, the mother as well, to take down any content with the children online, since the claims from the courts are exploitation of the children for financial gain. Okay, they are saying that he has been using the twins for social media content to be the primary breadwinner of the household. And yes, they have been the primary breadwinner of the household. And we have all seen, and a lot of us, like myself, saw very early on that what he is calling as memories of their regular life is actually scripted content. Okay, something else that's very interesting is that he again has been ordered to no longer post the children online, and to also take down all of the content. Now, he did not take down all of the content, and I suspect that's because almost all of their platforms are monetized, and he has grown accustomed to that being the primary source of income, right? And so he still has a lot of their content going around online, I assume monetized. And he has a YouTube channel where he just recently posted a video of the children. And I remember nearly every episode that he's been posting lately. Now, this one that he recently posted was of one of the twins coming in and saying, "Can I get a back rub?" Or he came in and said something and the father said, "Would you like a back rub?" Either way, a back rub was given on the bed, okay? And he said the child said, "This is priceless. Back rubs make the world a better place." And the dad was like, and I'm ad-libbing, "I'm proud of you for making the world a better place." And then the other twin comes in and says, "Hey, why does he get back rubs? I want a back rub too." So because come on in and get a back rub. He comes in, he gets on the bed as well, and they get back rubs. Sweet, nice, cute. Okay, but one would have to ask, how is it that he was lying in his bed with his camera rolling just as the twin comes around the corner and says, "Can I get a back rub?" Again, scripted content. So the father posted that video and said they showed this video in court today, and they questioned whether or not the children knew the meaning of the word priceless. Now, guys, for context, again, it is alleged that a lot of what they have been posting is actually scripted content. And from my observation, I've always believed that it was. Some people do believe that it's just so happened that he's catching them in these similar scenarios, okay? However, the courts are also clearly alleging that it is scripted content, okay? As in the children are working for this income. And he's just saying that he's just recording their childhood memories because that is a tradition in their family and everything like that. But they have a similar theme and similar structure, and it just so happens that he has been there with the camera rolling to catch these certain type of moments. So he says that the courts were questioning whether or not that was authentic or not because the children would not understand the meaning of the word priceless. Now, it seems to me that the children are pretty intelligent, but their level of school education has been in question, and it's been said that they're behind as far as their education. Now, he's bragging about sending them to a very expensive school and all that kind of stuff, but if you continue to listen, they are also talking about the children being neglected due to the fact that, the main focus of the father is making this content. So basically, the father felt like, I assume, that if the courts show the video in court, then he can doggone well post it online again so he can continue to talk about what's going on in court and with the case. Now, the problem with this is he was definitely ordered by the courts to no longer post the children and to take down the content of the children. So he is continuously violating the court order, yet he keeps wondering why he's not getting what he wants out of the situation. Okay, he went from supervised visitations, 1 hour a week, to now he gets no visitations, and he has committed violation after violation after violation. But he doesn't make that clear to people when he posts online. He's just saying, hey, they illegally took my children. They're unlawfully keeping them from me. I try to call them every day, although the jury's still out on whether or not he is even allowed to call them every day. Because imagine the guy has only 1 hour a week visitation, down to now none. Where would it be stipulated in the court documents that he can freely call them and talk to them every day unsupervised? Because his visitations that were only 1 hour a week were supervised. So I don't think that the courts gave him permission to try and contact them every day via their iPad. Also, with this case being so serious and going on for so long and being ongoing, and it being alleged and clearly we're hearing founded by the courts that he was keeping them away from the mother, I seriously doubt that she would, in turn, while this is going on, turn around and deny him access to the twins when he has every right to have access by not letting him talk to them whenever he calls on their iPad. So again, there's a lot that this guy is leaving out, but he's being exposed because a lot of us started watching the twins a long time ago and pretty much, fell in love with them and, saw them just from those postings. Doesn't give us any real insight to their actual lives and situations, but you tend to form an opinion of from what you see. Just like people watch the Cosby Show and they kind of looked at Bill Cosby on there as the TV dad, and Felicia Rashad, the mom, and Theo and Vanessa, all of them. So you kind of buy into the characters that you see and the version of their life that they show, when in reality they're not even a real family at all. Much less is this really how they are in real life in relations to the prospective counterparts, like the mother, the father, and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of, to me, the same concept here. People bought into that and felt like, oh, this means he's a great father and all this and that. But they're not taking into account that they're shown what he purposely wants them to see, and it's only a small amount of their actual lives. Not only that, like I said, it's clear to me that they were scripted. And not only that also, there's just some parts about what he was posting that bothered me. And I would make comments, but then I decided to stop because I didn't want to get blocked, and I didn't want to seem like I was bringing negativity to the page. Something's going on, police pulling up. So, yeah, I saw certain incidents, like situations that the children would get into where they were maybe fighting, one hit the other, or somebody's crying over there, or something that's kind of traumatic. And he would not have any reactions whatsoever but to keep the camera rolling and allow them to come to their own workout and conclusion, which there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. It just kind of seemed odd in some circumstances that he's never stepping in, he's never intervening, he's never consoling or redirecting or anything like that. It's about watch them and see how they handle it, which I don't know. It's up to you to decide whether or not it was a bit maybe neglectful, excessive, or exploitative. Exploitative? He was exploiting them. Okay.
Plaintiff maintains multiple websites called the Hurtt twins and publishes videos in excess of 1 hour long of the children publicly almost daily. Plaintiff has over 80,000 people following his public website, Exploiting the Children on Facebook, and gives that site. And the plaintiff also maintains other sites exploiting the children to the public at Instagram and YouTube. Plaintiff charges strangers online $4.99 per month to get increased access to pictures and videos of the minor children. Okay, are we following? Oh, there's more. Okay, there's so much more. All right, so the father also spoke on the videos describing his life as a single father. The videos one of the videos was titled Heartache at the Hospital. It showed father taking the children to University of Maryland Medical Center for an MRI. Once there, the children met with a nurse and answered her questions on video. The children were then shown lying inside the MRI machine during the test.
Now, I remember seeing different episodes where he was showing them in their hospital visits, and one of the children had to go get a procedure, or he had, because they have something, I can't remember what it is, or he either fell ill from it, and had to go spend some time in the hospital. And so that separated them, and he followed them on that journey. Even one of the twins was crying. He was feeling sad for his brother. He missed his brother. And, he was having him pray for his brother and uplift his brother. Now, the thing about this is that, wow, you're showing all their medical stuff, and they're not even old enough to consent. It's not even up to them whether or not people are all in their business like that. So I don't think this guy really gets it that, I know there's a lot of people who have the children online and stuff, but he had a whole reality show, and we know a lot of reality shows are at least partially scripted. So he had a whole reality show with the twins, and they weren't old enough to decide whether or not they wanted to participate. And from the demeanor of at least one of the children, it kind of seemed to me like he may have had a problem with it sometimes, and he felt a little pressured to, really get into it. But, that's just way too much when you're showing their medical appointments and their private information as far as their medical conditions, showing them when they're hurting and they're sick because of it. Also, it's a bit much. Yeah, it's a bit much.
Father explained to the viewers that the children's medical condition that necessitates testing through MRI. Later on, the video showed father and the children leaving the hospital together. Another video played in court showed one of the twins crying as his brother was leaving the home with father for a medical procedure. Yet another video showed the children cooking with father when one of them touched the hot stove, burning his hand. As he cried, father kept recording. Damn. He kept recording? In yet another video, the children were in their room, trying to retrieve Halloween candy from a shelf when it fell on one of them. Father scolded them and threw the candy away. As the videos play, father can be seen soliciting donations, "My sons need you," and asking viewers to share the videos with other people. In another video, father told his viewers that he needed to obtain restraining orders to prevent him and the children from being harassed, and repeatedly requested money from viewers to protect his children. When father's Range Rover was stolen, followers of the Hurtt twins' accounts created a GoFundMe page and raised enough money for father to buy a new car.
Now, that's either greed or mismanagement of funds, because these twins had large platforms on several different platforms. So that's some pretty good revenue coming in. And you got to ask for GoFundMes or donations every which way you turn. Not to mention, y'all, that it is alleged that the car that was reported stolen was actually repossessed. And one of the cars was co-signed for by the mom anyway. And he was dishonest, with the audience yet again.
The story was picked up by WMAR Baltimore, which featured it in a broadcast. Father was very pleased that the story received such media attention. Are we still together? Okay, so now. All right, now this says, I can't see the first part of this, but it says, is fraught with exploitation, which is not in the best interest and presents a danger to their safety. Hold on, let me make sure something's not out of order at this point. Let's see. Okay, so it's not that. Okay. Hold on, I just want to make sure I don't have this out of order. Okay. So it says the parents have been separated since February 1st, 2020. Any prior voluntary abandonment? Uh-oh, what happened? Sorry. any prior voluntary abandonment or surrender of custody of the child. Despite father's representation to the contrary, the court finds that there has been no voluntary abandonment or surrender of the children on the part of the mother. Her loss of time with them has been caused by father, who has used every means possible to deny her access to them. As for father, he has not surrendered or abandoned the children. Rather, he has made extraordinary efforts to keep them to himself. Okay? Potential disruption of the child's social and school life. The court finds, oh, I see, this is out of order. I see what's happening here. I'm gonna start from over here. Okay, I'll probably end up repeating like that last paragraph again. But here are the findings. And this finding was July 10th. Sorry, actually, this was July 11th of 2024. And I don't know why this says YouTube July 10th, but okay. So it says the court finds that the father's judgment regarding the children is alarmingly poor. In addition, his decision-making is so impaired that he is incapable of making decisions that are in the best interest of the children in matters of major significance or day-to-day decisions while the children are in his care. Father steadfastly maintains that his exploitation of his children is in their best interest.
We disagree, and clearly so do the courts.
This man is crazy and does not harm or endanger them in any way. Should he actually believe this, father would be completely out of touch with the reality of life in today's world. The court is persuaded, however, that father's actions are motivated not by love for his children, but by his own self-interest. Father advised the court that even though he would disagree with it, he would obey a court order to cease exposing them online as he has done. The court finds that assertion to lack credibility. Father has exploited the children for profit while simultaneously depriving them of the loving care of their mother. Okay, this is the court. This is what the judge said. The judge, please hit the like button. Okay. The character and reputation of the parties. Father's reputation has, to some extent, been damaged by his online activities featuring his children. The Hurtt twins' opposition, with 10,000 members, speaks to that. Despite father's efforts to smear her, mother's reputation appears to be good. C, the requests of each parent and the sincerity of the requests. Both parties have requested custody of the children, and the court finds those requests, finds those requests to be sincere. The court is persuaded, however, that the father's request for custody is motivated by his desire to profit from the children. D, any agreements between the parties. Now, that's where I'm missing that information. So there's a big chunk of stuff that I'm missing. But this is what I'll just skip to where we are now. So it says the parents have been separated since February 1st of 2020. Any prior voluntary abandonment or surrender of the custody of the child is described here. Despite father's representation to the contrary, the court finds that there has been no voluntary abandonment or surrender of the children on the part of the mother. Her loss of time with them has been caused by the father. Despite father's representation to the contrary, the court finds that there has been no voluntary abandonment or surrender of the children on the part of the mother. Her loss of time with them has been caused by the father, who has used every means possible to deny her across to them. As for father, he has not surrendered or abandoned the children. Rather, he has made extraordinary efforts to keep them to himself. Now, this says potential disruption of the child's social and school life. The court finds that a disruption of the children's life is inevitable in this case. Should father be awarded physical custody, it is highly likely that they will not be able to remain in their current school. And father's poor judgment is such that he is unlikely to follow a course of action that will lead to a stable social and school life for them. Mother, on the other hand, lives in an excellent school district and would enroll them in public school. So there are some other pieces that are missing, but I want to say this. That alone tells me exactly why those kids are not in his care. So many details that have been shared now about what transpired on that particular night that they left or were put out. He's lied about that. The court has findings that the man has abused drugs in the past, has some addiction issues. Jerron, none of this is gossip. See, you came out here, sir. And when you came out here, you wanted people to jump on the bandwagon, be there to support you, because your narrative is you're the single father, you're doing it all alone. I'll tell you something else I saw. Did you guys know that once the mother left the house, she was still coming over to visit with the kids? And when she came, she was washing their clothes. She would come over there, wash their clothes, clean their rooms, love on them, cook for them, and then leave. And this man still didn't want to acknowledge that he had that kind of help from her. He came out here to garner sympathy and support based on the fact that he knew that that would sell and that he could get money from those viewers, those aunties. Simply Silver said, I think V said April has sent a message that her attorney advised her not to do interviews. She did.